Did not have a great finish, still caught plenty of fish, but did not have a great finish. We're gonna give you the tips, tricks, and the tools of the trade in this Elite Series tournament and give you the full rundown on my 2 days out here on the Big T Bend. So the big question was, do you go out in the middle and try to live scope fish, or do you go to the bank and try to catch those fish that you think are coming to the bank? So I did a little bit of both and didn't do either one very well. So the first day I concentrated on shallow, had 8 or 9 keepers, caught my fish in grass and around shallow bushes and trees. But the 2 main baits on day 1 were the Z-Man jackhammer, had a gold one with that gold looking shad, and then I had the spunk shad 4.5 and frosted purple on the back. That was the bait that I had on there. Had that on 18-pound Sunline shooter on a Daiwa Zillion SVTW 7.1:1 gear ratio. That was the deal. And then I had that on the Cashin 7-foot 4-inch. It's part of the kayak series. That is the chattergrass rod. I really like that for chatterbaits around grass, and that's what I was doing. Chatterbaits around grass and chatterbaits around that shallow bushes and stuff. But also caught a couple keepers on a Zoom mag speedworm. That's a June bug red. Had a 5/16 ounce tungsten sinker in front of that, and then I had that on 20-pound Sunline shooter. Was able to keep that bait up a little bit. I wanted to have that weight to be able to dig down in the grass and kind of pop it free. But then I also had, I forgot to mention, that 5/0 offset shank round bend worm hook, but that's the new Spro hook that's got the nano alpha coating on it. Amazing hook, full jack mode on those fish. And I had that on a Cashin 7-foot 3-inch worm jig rod. This is the Icon medium heavy. That's the rod that I throw so many different baits on, including Carolina rigs. Just a great general all-around worming rod. It's perfect for that slow, big mag speed worm. So that was it. Yeah, I flipped some bushes and stuff that didn't really put out any keepers or anything that I weighed in on day 1. So day 2, I made a change. I caught one on a jerkbait early, small keeper, and then I went out there in the middle and took that live scope, that big MBT screen, and tried to find those real big ones to make a real move. And that was what I committed to on day 2. I don't have any regrets about not being able to put them. I caught 3 keepers doing that, and I had 2 baits that did the dirty work. I mixed in a handful of different baits, but the 2 main ones were the Neko rig. This is the Missile Baits Magic Worm. This is the Green Pumpkin Money. You can see it's got that gold hue to it. That is a absolute cash money. I've caught fish on that thing everywhere. And I had a 1/16 ounce sinker in the tail of that. So that was the Neko rig. And then the hook I had was the Gamakatsu Octopus TGW, tournament grade wire. I had that on, that's a number 1 size. And I had that on 8-pound Sunline Sniper as my leader. I had about a 20-foot leader to the Sunline 12-pound AMZ braided line. Really good setup for that. And then I had the Daiwa Ballistic. This is the smaller, the MQ 2500. Real high, it's the high speed one. I really like that high speed, even though it's kind of a smaller frame, smaller spool, real high speed. I like that combination. You can see kind of like the gears and stuff down the bottom are big. That thing wants to jump out at you now. And then I had that on the Cashin Icon John Cruz drop shot rod. It's got the counterbalance weight in it, so that, you know, when you're Neko rigging or drop shotting, keeps that tip up real easy for you. So that was the one deal. Then the other deal, I was trying a handful of different minnow baits, but the one that I caught I think both keepers on, the fish were down a little bit more, down a little deeper. So I had a 3/8 ounce tungsten head. I don't even know the name of this one. and then I had like just a little 4-inch minnow body, but a skinny one. So I had the spunk shad on one that I was keeping higher in the water column, and then I had this one on this little skinny, you know, 4-inch fluke looking deal. It's a real skinny looking little minnow. I'm not sure the brand of that, but I wanted something that would get down quicker because some of those fish, it was windy. Some of those fish were a little bit deeper. I'm talking like 30 and 40 feet. So that's why I was using that one. But then I had that on the Cashin Icon Mini micro jig rod. That micro jig rod, 7'1". It's a medium heavy. It's got some wood to it. Had that on 10-pound Sunline Sniper leader, about a 20-foot leader. And then I had that on the new, I was fishing the D braid, which is pink, but I went to the new, not the Overwatch, but this is the new Sunline braid. And I had that in, I believe that was 16-pound with a Tatula 3000, a little bit bigger spool. That was a good combination. Handled the fish just fine. Didn't hook enough of the keepers or enough of the bigger ones to really do anything. Really a frustrating event because I was seeing not a ton of fish. I was seeing a few fish, and just still learning the tricks of the trade when we're talking about doing this whole live scope situation. So that's what I'm going to try to get a little bit better at, refine that, find my balance of fishing the bank versus fishing offshore. And hopefully we'll be able to, we have no time to rest, man. We're going right into practice at Lake Fork. So getting my tackle ready for Lake Fork. Hopefully we'll bring y'all a little bit better finish, have more fun fish catches to talk about on the next one. So if you have any questions or comments on my setups, please drop them down there in the comments. I'll do my best to check them out as always. And I was a little disappointed, gotta tell you, a little disappointed that my old fire engine didn't come through for me in this one. I don't know why. I caught some in practice on it, but wasn't coming through for me in the tournament. But maybe next week, maybe Lake Fork's the one. So we'll see you then.